Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined, as always, by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
Hola, for our Spanish-speaking listeners.
All right, let's start this show off by my journey on the internet to find the weird and to find the obscure, and then, of course, ask for a tech perspective. And I want to start off with something that happened in just public service announcement at this point. When you opened up your Twitter app today, you may have noticed... Wow, that took a while. And I'm not sure the theme. Is it Caribbean? May have noticed when you opened up your Twitter app today that you were prompted to change your password. Apparently, today's actually also International Password Day. I really wish I was kidding. I'm not. And Twitter realized that everyone's passwords were saved in a plain text file somewhere on their server. They said that there wasn't any kind of breach. There was nothing that they knew of. However, they recommended that everybody change their password. So
at least they're being transparent about it.
Right. Yeah, at least they're saying something to their users about it. I promptly went and changed my password. Did you two? Brian, I know you barely use Twitter. Did you change your password?
I did indeed change my password because I actually opened Twitter today. It was weird.
I did not open Twitter today.
I didn't know my old password, so when they prompted me to change my password, it was like, old password. I'm like, I don't know. So I did forgot password and then changed my password.
So apparently because today was a password day, there were also warnings issued to Verizon Fios customers and a freight schedule pickup system that said, hey, my bad, you got to change it. Brian Roman actually gave me the tip on Verizon Fios and the freight pickup system that he uses at his job. So thanks for those up. So just here's what I'll say. I as we all know, I am extremely cheap, right? We can all agree on the fact that I'm extremely cheap.
No.
I pay for
that's not, no, you're not cheap. You actually go into the theater just to buy concessions and then leave. That's the CJ I know.
I actually pay for a password manager. I pay for something called Dashlane. I recommend it. We don't have any kind of promo or affiliate with them at all. I think it's a great platform. If you are looking for something else, there's 1Password. Check these things out. They're relatively inexpensive. They generate passwords for you. So when stuff like this happens, even if someone gets your password, they don't have your password for everything. You can spread passwords around the internet. So I recommend a password manager. I don't know how you two feel about those, but I would tell people to start looking into that.
How do you remember your passwords?
So you get a master password. There's one password to rule them
all.
Right? But it's obviously a password that you don't use anywhere else, right? So you do have to make a fresh
That's the one I would forget.
Nah.
Yeah,
no.
That's the only one I would forget.
Yep.
No, you would think that, but you won't, because now you don't have to remember any other passwords. You only have to remember one password.
But I can't, right? Because I've been using the same 5 passwords forever.
Yeah.
Then get Luminosity and help your memory, okay?
No.
Yeah, please don't do that, by the way. That stuff's all mumble-jumbly stuff. So I just want to follow up with the fact that, hey, if you're a Twitter user, go ahead and change your Twitter password. And if you get emails about changing your password, just use caution, because it could also be phishing. So good luck on the internet. It's a crazy world out there. The other thing I want to bring up is a little bit of follow-up, and I love this headline that I found on Gizmodo because it's so true. At this point, MoviePass is just messing with us. Last week, you heard me talk about the fact that they changed their plans to a quarterly plan, and you get iHeartRadio Plus, and people were kind of bummed about this because now instead of saying 1 movie a day, it's now only 4 movies a month. Well, the MoviePass CEO just gave an interview and said that he never planned to abandon the flagship product that everybody loved, and at some point it will be coming back, but this right now was just a promotion, and the unlimited plan will be coming back. Why, MoviePass? Stop doing this, all right? You're already weird to begin with, and when I explain you to people, they already think it's a strange concept. Don't make this more complicated than it has to be. But for those of you who are looking to sign up for MoviePass, the $10 a month plan of unlimited is coming back.
I'm confused. What is a promotion about seeing less movies a month?
I don't know. I think it's the fact that they're also like, hey, the promotion is, hey, iHeartRadio, huh? Like, yeah, you got that. And I don't know why there's a promotion.
Who uses iHeartRadio in a world with Spotify and Apple Music?
Yes, exactly. People
who hearts radio anymore? Nobody hearts radio. Nobody hearts radio.
And the move that he said, because he did give an interview a few weeks ago, it was like, nah, I don't really know if we'll ever come back. He just said, oh, that's marketing 101. If people knew that the movie A Day Plan was coming back, they may not be interested in the iHeartRadio deal. Hey, FYI, no one was interested in the iHeartRadio deal to begin with. They just wanted the movie pass. So anyway, this is weird. Movie Pass is a weird company. They're going to change everything on the drop of a dime. If a plan is out and you like it, buy it immediately. They did make a change, which I thought had always been a part of the Movie Pass terms and conditions, which is you can only see a movie once with Movie Pass. Apparently that wasn't the way it was when people signed up for it. I don't remember that, but hey, that's what it is. You only see a movie one time.
You can only see so you can only see Avengers once on the Movie Pass.
Yes.
And then repeat viewings, you have to pay full price.
Correct. Like I went and I saw Movie Pass.
That's dumb.
In IMAX, and I paid my money, my real world money, to get ticket. And I'm going to go tomorrow to the local theater, and I'm going to use my Movie Pass to go see it in non IMAX. So.
Nope.
No, I don't trust any of this. This is why I didn't.
No. I don't have a problem with this. I have a problem with anybody seeing that movie not in IMAX.
Well, we're going to get to that. We're going to hold off any talk about Avengers Infinity War to the end of the show, so if you haven't seen it, again, what have you done with your life? God,
these are the things that frustrate me, CJ.
I agree with you, man. I'm right.
Clearly, they've made mistakes with their life.
Right. They're poor decisions.
Very true. And you
poor decisions.
We accept you, but at the same time, we're judging you. I just hope you know that. You're accepted. We like you. But also, you're wearing pink, and that's a problem.
I don't like them.
That's fine. Hey, Josh Burns.
Pink is good. Yeah.
Tell me if this sounds familiar.
Nope.
Tell me if you heard this before. Sprint and T-Mobile have announced that they're going to merge.
Yeah.
Is it 2007, 2014, or 2011?
Yeah. I said to Laura, I'll believe it when I see it, but they're apparently all over the news about it, and this seems more serious than the last couple times.
Yeah. There were a couple articles that I read about this that really kind of brought up a good point. Right now, with the four major carriers, T-Mobile jumped Sprint, is in third now. And they've been making some strides in their network. AT&T and Verizon still have a lot of spectrum, a lot of good network that they're doing. And Sprint is floundering. Sprint's not doing as well as they should be. They made their investment in WiMAX years ago. This is super nerdy. They made their investment in bad 4G years ago, and they just haven't been able to really recoup. And a lot of people are saying, hey, this is bad. Now we're going to have three carriers, instead of having four. And I read one analyst who said, yeah, we're going to have three carriers, but right now we have one carrier that's just not doing well. Like they're not making money. They're doing poorly. Wouldn't you rather have three good wireless companies instead of two good companies and two mediocre ones? So I'm curious what you think about this.
The merger still doesn't get T-Mobile and Sprint close to the size of AT&T and Verizon as far as users.
It would be 100 million customers when they combine.
Yeah, and what's the total market?
I wish I could tell you. I don't have that.
It's quite a bit larger. That's actually neither here nor there. My real concern is combining these two force you, I believe, into either a higher cost postpaid or prepaid situation, right? So like right now, Sprint and T-Mobile are both affordable solutions. They are certainly more credit friendly. They're more marketable to young folks, right? If you take that away and combine them, make them bigger, I think you start seeing plans more priced competitively with AT&T and Verizon. So there's additional cost there, which essentially forces everyone away from what you get with a postpaid carrier into prepaid.
I disagree with you. John Ledger, the CEO of T-Mobile, has been extremely vocal over his tenure at T-Mobile of being A, customer-centric, but B, really fighting the big two on price. Like, it has to be a competitive market. And there's so many other carriers. You've got other carriers out there that are doing, like Google Fi. You've got Freedom Pop. You've got some other networks that are borrowing, networks from larger carriers. There's still a lot of choice out there, and in my opinion, and this is not based off of any analytics, but just more anecdotal evidence, is T-Mobile has always been competitive. I think they still will be competitive. I think the story that they're saying of like, we got to get to 5G before China, and 5G has got to be this is why we're doing it. I think that's bullshit. I mean, I think that's straight up just marketing bullshit. I don't think it's about 5G. I just really think it's about the fact that Sprint's not doing well. T-Mobile would like that spectrum and like that technology, and that's it. And we've seen T-Mobile switch carrier from CDMA to GSM with Metro PCS, so they've done this before. And to me, I think this is only going to make competition really, really tough between the three major carriers.
Yeah, I think T-Mobile's prices go up.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And you know what? We shall see. Brian, I know you care nothing about this. Is there anything about this that excites you at all?
I have a cell phone.
Who's your carrier?
I have AT&T.
And I have Verizon.
You'll never switch, right?
No, I'm not gonna switch. I'm happy with AT&T. I don't need no fancy bull crap that pays for my Netflix. I got money.
See, I don't. So, and that's the other part too. I've really enjoyed my T-Mobile service. So, Josh, I'm hoping I'm right, and I'm really hoping you're wrong. Not for the sense of I'm right, you're wrong, but like I don't want that reality that you described to be true. I'm an optimist, and I hope that it'll stay that way. So,
yeah, but doesn't it seem logical? Is I guess where I'm at. Like, can't you see the every carrier saying, you know what, we have postpaid and we have prepaid. Right. And sort of they are two very separate programs, and you can cut all this shit, but I want to talk about it for a second. Sure. Knowing that, doesn't it make sense then that T-Mobile would say, you know what, we have identified a severe gap between these two customer groups, because there is a pretty big gap there, right?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't they align more on the postpaid side with the big carriers, and also similarly beat them at the prepaid game, capturing more market share? Sprint has the best prepaid out there.
Yes, but that's through leasing it through Virgin Mobile. What's the damn terminology? VMNO?
Boost, Virgin, yeah, MVNO.
MVNO. They do it through that, right? And I think they would just kind of open it up to more VMNO and not
MVNO. T-Mobile has huge prepaid kits, right? They have Simple Mobile, right? They have
Metro PCS is
Metro
their
PCS
prepaid business.
Metro PCS. Look, if you drive into a neighborhood and there's a Metro PCS store and a Cash for Gold place, just get out.
You're at the wrong place. I do hear what you're saying. And if it was any other carrier, seriously, if this was Verizon, this was AT&T, or if Sprint was buying T-Mobile and not the other way around, I would say no contest. Absolutely, you're right.
That's what they hope to become. That's what they hope to become. They just want to do it while wearing tight jeans and a blazer.
No, they want to do it with leather jackets and by saying "fuck you" on press phone calls.
Right.
John Ledger, I think he's just fucking baseline
batshit crazy.
Cocaine and Red Bull, and I think he is crazy enough to not do what the big carriers are done. They're still going to be the uncarrier, and I think I honestly believe that's what they're going to do. As a shareholder, I hope that's what they do as well. I want them to actually stay where you are. You're doing great. You're growing customers enormously. You've got some great technology out there that no one else has. Keep that shit up. So I honestly believe that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. Again, that 5G bullshit is literally marketing bullshit so that the FCC goes, oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, no, yeah, 5G beat China. Oh, we're there. But other than that,
good talk, man. I appreciate the debate.
Yeah.
Will they be called Trent Mobile then? Is that their couple name?
No, they will be called T-Mobile. They're going to stay with the T-Mobile part. I have a lightning round I want to do on Amazon. There's 3 topics that they kind of came out with over the last week. They had a big release. They talked about their earnings, but I really want to talk about a few things. Number 1, Amazon is going to be changing the pricing for their Prime membership by 20%. They're going from $100 to $120 to become an Amazon Prime customer annually, which puts it on par with their monthly plan at that point. And looking at my wife and I and how we're using Amazon Prime, we're not big Amazon shoppers. This $20 for us is just a bridge a little bit too far, and we may cancel our service. So I'm curious what you think about the fact that Amazon's going to be increasing their pricing.
I don't understand when you said the words "not big Amazon shoppers." What did you mean by that?
Yeah, we don't buy anything off of Amazon, really.
They don't like having their time back, Josh.
Josh, I've taken your words.
Okay, I'm gonna roll this back a second. How do you guys do like Costco or Sam's Club memberships?
Yes, we have Costco.
Okay. So have you compared the price for your paper products and whatnot from Costco to Amazon Pantry?
No. Can't say
Okay,
we
well,
have.
that's something that you should do.
Well, here's the kicker to this, though, is that because we live in an apartment and not a house, if we do any kind of big delivery, like paper towels, toilet papers, diapers, that's stuff that gets dropped off at the post office most of the time. Our carriers here are shit. Right, and I'm not going to the post office.
No, totally. I have like 5 Amazon boxes a week minimum coming to my house. So this $20, I'm like, $20, man. I'll burn $20. Sure, absolutely.
Right.
I will spend $100 on an app just to try it out. So $20, yeah, bring it.
Brian, what about you? Are you an Amazon person at all? What do you think about the fact that they're changing their plan to 120?
I don't have 5 boxes coming to me a week, but when I do get something, I enjoy that. I don't have to pay shipping.
When does the change go into effect?
So it's a rollout kind of thing. So it depends on when your subscription is changing with Amazon Prime. They said it could take effect as early as May 11th.
What I'm asking is it possible to renew now at the current price?
Yes, depending on where you are within your year. If you're past June 16th, no. But if you're between May 11th and June 16th, there's a chance you could renew at the $100.
What I'm saying is, let's say as of May 11th, you are 8 months in.
No.
I see okay, so you only renew in that like if you're within 30 days.
Correct. Yep.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So this isn't, like I said, this isn't huge, but it is something that's making a few people I know of too also kind of consider it. So we'll see about that. The next topic is that Amazon would like to deliver packages to the trunk of your car. Asterisks on this all over the place. It's select cars. It's GM and Volvo, I think from 2014 and above, that are equipped with OnStar. So
correct.
You've got to fall in a particular bracket. They're not delivering this to your.
You have to be like the one person that actually kept the OnStar subscription.
Right. Yes. And your Amazon Prime. You're paying the $100 on top of the OnStar subscription price.
Let me ask you this, Brian, as a guy with no opinion on it, how many, give me a ballpark percentage of people that you think cancel their Amazon Prime subscription because it goes up $20?
Percentage?
Yeah, over under 3%.
15.
15% cancellation.
You're crazy, dude. I think you're talking 0.2%, if anything.
I think probably we're in the 2 to 3 range. However, they're charging an extra 20. So really anything less than 20%,
they're fine.
Is a win.
It's like someone's like, how can we make an extra $1 billion for Bezos so he can go to space? Hey, you want to increase Prime by 20? Yeah, there you go. That guy, he's got it.
So I'm sorry to switch back, but it just sort of hit me like, what really is the number of people that are going to go, this is too much money?
Yeah, not a lot at all. Me and 4 other people.
I refuse to pay an extra almost $2 per month.
I don't use the service at all, so I'm that.
Listen,
Video.
That 6.3 something cents a day. That really.
Hey,
that really
stop using value and let's talk about the cars, okay? Because here's the thing. I know it's select cars and whatnot, but all I can think about is there's somebody at this, because people stealing your Amazon boxes is no,
it's the guy. It's the guy. Hey, I have your package. That's great. My car called for an emergency pickup from the side of a cliff. It's wonderful. Thank you for bringing my beard comb.
I also just see some people going, oh, is that a Prime box? It's in the car. Fuck it. I'm just going to break the car window and I've got a box.
I gotta know what it is. What's in the box?
Paper. It's toilet paper.
Box.
Could have been an iPad.
In the trunk. They're not going to see it in the car.
If you have a hatchy back there with the,
which is the video that the picture that they use in the Verge article to explain this. It's a guy in a hatchback delivering a box. You're just begging at some places to just have your car broken.
If I see a computer shaped box, not me. If I'm a criminal, let me just back up. If I were hypothetically a criminal,
there's too many qualifiers in that sentence.
Yeah, and I saw a MacBook shaped box being delivered into somebody's hatchback. when the guy walks away, I'm doing the thing where like I slip a piece of paper in between the latch thing so it can't get in there, and just like casually like whistle around, and then I have a MacBook. Like, I'm just saying, it doesn't seem safe.
Allegedly, and hypothetically not you.
Right? Allegedly. Right.
Okay.
Why is Amazon all about invading my privacy? Didn't they want to bring my groceries into my kitchen as well?
They still do, but so did Walmart.
That's
I mean, here's the thing. This year, Amazon is going to be taking over a couple places of Walmart's market share, including clothing and actually selling of apparel. This year, Amazon is expected to overtake Walmart when it comes to apparel sales, which is crazy.
That is, mind blowing.
I mean, mind-blowingly crazy. So they're just trying to do anything they can, Brian, to get in places where no one else is now, and just see if it works. I mean, they got so much money, they can just try something crazy, and if it works, like, great. Now we're going to put parcels on dogs and walk them around New York, and we're going to have dog walkers deliver things.
That sounds adorable.
Right. And then the first dog that dies in the street, they're like, oh, we're canceling the program.
No, that's a much better idea than delivering packages to my trunk.
I agree.
Can I have a puppy deliver my MacBook?
Yeah,
I'd like a Labradoodle.
But then here's the thing: someone's going to steal the puppy and your MacBook.
but the puppy.
Or you're going to have like homeward bound situations where your you're tracking your package is like, it's in Montana. Why is it in Montana? I'm in Pennsylvania. It's going to be a mess. Here's my other question. Amazon is apparently also working on a robot that's kind of like a Roomba with an Alexa. And here's the problem I have with any of these like tiny robotic, no leg required, non-real robot assistants. You can't go upstairs. So like, do I have to get one for each floor? Like, is that how that works?
Yes.
I can't be brought into this. I'm gonna wait for the androids from Bicentennial Man before I buy a freaking Roomba that can talk to me at all.
Why do I need my vacuum to talk to me?
Well, I know that, you know.
If that were the case, I'd just hire you to come over and clean my house.
Yeah, it's over to the palatial estate.
I can't,
right?
then
you could keep the Amazon Prime subscription.
I can afford it.
I will pay you $20 a month, buddy. You're welcome.
So that's all I've got for Amazon. They want to get in your car. They want to change the price a little bit. And if you're really into Amazon, you're probably really excited about this.
Want to get in your house? Want to get in your pants?
It's true. They want a camera. They want a camera in your bedroom that takes pictures of you in your outfits to see how you look. They want you to.
That's what it's there for.
That's what it's there for. That is what it's there for. It's supposed to take. It's a lookbook. It makes a lookbook every day. Like, no, you look better in this outfit. So that's the Amazon. That's the Echo Look. They want to have Fire Stick, right? So you're watching TV, right? You got to watch TV with them. You've got an Alexa, an Echo in your kitchen to tell you about, you know, recipes and timers. You've got the one that has the camera on it for like Amazon's FaceTime equivalent, so you can talk to people and you can do it that way. Amazon just wants to be everywhere you are. They want to let people in your house. It's just
Grizzleboxing
exactly.
Everything to my house.
It's the Grizzlebox from Parks and Rec. And now here's my last question. If there's a person who's obsessed with having everything that is Amazon, what are the odds you think they're actually going to buy a GM or a Volvo specifically so they can have the trunk delivery service?
15%.
I think it could be an influencing factor for sure. Yeah,
like the CarPlay thing. Like, by the way, this will
exactly
come with
right. Exactly right. Like I wouldn't even consider a car that didn't have CarPlay.
Right. You may not even consider a car that doesn't allow Amazon to put some packages in your trunk.
That just sounds dirty when you say it that way.
It does. It does.
Yeah,
all right. Well, then let's do this. Let's move on to the world of movies and TV in a segment that we call Screen to Screen. Okay, so there was a trailer that came out this week that was pretty exciting. It also got the internet a little riled up with a few things, but it is the 2018 movie Robin Hood. And we've got Jamie Foxx and I can never pronounce
Taron Egerton.
Thank you. I can never pronounce her name. Starring as Robin Hood. You guys seem to have a pretty big reaction to the trailer. Give me some thoughts on it.
I do. Oh, I do have thoughts about this. Whew. All right. It looks good. It looks like Arrow meets Game of Thrones, but not with you know, three people that I don't care about. It looks updated. It looks like the best Robin Hood movie since Prince of Thieves. I'm down. Plus Taron Egerton, not only dreamy, but he's a badass. Let's do it.
He is a badass. You know what's funny is that I watched the trailer twice, and I immediately went, who directed this? Was it John Woo? Because is Taron Egerton required to be parallel with the ground prior to firing an arrow? Like, you couldn't. John Woo movies, you couldn't fire a bullet without first doing a barrel roll or a tumble or a flip, right? Or being horizontal with the ground in the air.
I didn't see any doves.
I was just saying, you have to do all that through doves, which he did in Mission Impossible at one point.
Yeah,
too.
so
he did it in every movie.
I'm concerned with, like, you know, Zoolander can't turn left, right? He's got one look, whatever. Like, I'm concerned that he's laying out sideways for every single shot he takes.
That's so true, and I'm sure that's very inaccurate when it comes to archery. Like, you can't actually like shoot a bow and arrow.
No, that's kind of the point, CJ. That's exactly the point. Is that
right.
this is you know, superhuman, and you know that was sort of, you know, Robin Hood's skill in every sort of iteration. The dude was just the most dangerous marksman in the world. This looks fantastic. I cannot wait to see it. Jamie Foxx coming up big in a few spots recently, but I mean, looked awesome. I don't think it's Prince of Thieves.
I didn't say that.
No. I know. I wasn't saying you did.
Okay,
but I'm just.
sure.
I mean, I'm drawing a parallel to the best Robin Hood movie we have, right?
Which is Prince of Thieves. Yeah,
Prince of Thieves.
I agree.
Right. So it's not that. It's not gonna have Bryan Adams. So,
which is a shame.
Maybe somebody will redo the song. It'll be great.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it be awesome?
It'll probably Taron Egerton because he can sing real well.
Yeah, he can.
No, he's already going to show that off in the Elton John movies.
Yes, he's going to be Elton John in the movie.
He's going to be young Elton John.
That's awesome.
It is coming to theaters November of this year, 2018. So actually coming out relatively soon compared to some of the other movies.
You know what it's going to have to fight at the box office with?
What's it going to have to fight at the box office?
Aquaman.
Oh. I think this will be fine.
I think it will be too.
Yeah, it should be fine. I hope it doesn't beat Aquaman.
I don't think it's coming out the same weekend. I'm just saying, like,
similar time frame.
Similar time frame.
Gotcha.
So this was a very interesting story that I actually had to read the headline several times. Hasbro is set to acquire the rights for the Power Ranger franchise and more from Saban for $522 million. And I did not think, and though I love them, I do not think that the Power Rangers are worth $522 million.
But they're also getting others.
Yeah. What other Saban properties
How much are the others?
What other Saban properties are actually worth?
I don't know. But maybe Hasbro will make a kick-ass toy or movie out of them, and then I'll know.
You get the rest of Saban for a Coke and a smile.
You know what this means? I get Transformers meets G.I. Joe meets Power Rangers. Yes.
All right, so here's what you get. You get the Big Bad Beetleborgs, Digimon, Masked Rider, Cubix, and VR Troopers, which don't matter at all. They don't. Masked Rider was cool, but you're not going to watch that. No.
Digimon's pretty popular.
Yeah, but not $522 million popular.
This is a good business move, man. I mean, it keeps Hasbro totally relevant. They took a real hit when Toys R Us closed. Right. So this keeps them in like owning brands to supplement what they lost. And, you know, frankly, Hasbro's, I know they're crappy, but they have a couple movies out there, right?
Yeah. They make money off the movies as well. And then I don't know how the toy sales go with these movies. I mean, when the first Transformers came out, like everyone's like, oh yeah, Transformer toys are back, plus the movie, but diminishing returns on that one. I don't think they're selling a lot of Transformers toys right now.
No, but any like they'll sell Power Rangers if the movie is marketed for kids.
Yeah, or me, because I like Power Rangers, and I'll probably buy a new Zord if it comes out.
That's strange.
Listen, everyone's got their thing, and for me, Power Rangers, I was at a flea market and found the original Zord, and now I have two of them. I have two. Why? Why do I have two? I don't know, but I do. I mean, so here's the thing. Honestly, Brian, though, do you think there's going to be some crossovers when it comes to these movies and these properties? Are we going to see something like that?
I think they're stupid if they don't.
Well, we haven't had any crossover right now in Hasbro's universe. G.I. Joe, Battleship, all that stuff didn't cross over.
Yeah, I get that, but they've been talking about this for a long time and trying to bring at least Transformers and G.I. Joe together. I mean, Power Rangers is just another piece of the puzzle that you can kind of combine with. I mean, I think, yeah. I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next 2 years, but I think you could see them crossover. Absolutely.
If you could make a crossover, what's the one you prefer?
I just said it. G.I. Joe meets Transformers meets Power Rangers.
Oh, you want all three? Okay.
Yeah, I want all three. Because listen, once they're giant robots, I need Roadblock on the ground telling me what the hell's going on.
I do want to revisit a topic that we talked about, that I talked about last week, and I know you two have strong feelings for, and that is the fact that Lethal Weapon is kind of right now on the bubble for season 3. Update to last week's episode: the star has apologized for his behavior. He's put out an apology.
Yeah, that's going to make everything better.
I hope it does. I really do, because I just started watching the show and I already love it. So I need season 3, but I need to know what you guys think about this development and what do you think it means for the show?
The show, I think, is incredibly important for this guy. Like if this went badly, he'd fade into oblivion. I mean, he is Riggs at this point for me.
Brian?
I think in the current climate that the movie/TV industry is in, I don't think his apology is going to mean shit. And I think they're probably going to recast him.
And what do you think that does to the show if you recast him? I can't think of many shows that have had success that way.
I think it gets canceled after a season or 2.
It's done.
Or
you can't
2?
You can't.
I'll give it 2 to limp along.
Wow.
Because if they
gets canceled, canceled halfway through.
It gets after the first season of the new person, they move it to a different night that no one watches TV, and then they just kind of slowly sunset it.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope that's not the case, because I actually do really like the show. So I hope that Clayton Crawford gets his shit together and makes an actual apology that matters, and they can renew it for a 3rd season.
You don't think this was this is a ultimatum? This is the come to Jesus talk?
Absolutely.
Well, so I mean, having
100%.
done that and having him, publicly apologize, why would you then recast him?
I'm gonna go with off Brian's fact. It's not so much like what the studio will want it to be, that the climate will push him that direction. They'll be going, I don't want to do that, but they will.
Bullshit.
So we'll see. I definitely want to keep people updated as it comes on. I really recommend Lethal Weapon now. I'm sorry I didn't take your recommendation earlier.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Josh.
Yeah. And just final update for movies. Fox just going, fuck it, why not? They are turning Monty Python's Spamalot into a movie.
It was already a movie. It's called Monty Python and
the Quest for the Holy Grail. Then became a Broadway show, Spamalot, and then they're going to take the music aspect of that and everything that they did to change it from Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail and make it a movie. And not one of the live, productions like Hairspray and everything that they're doing that have been really successful. They're going to put it in theaters and make it a movie.
Yeah, like you mean like Rent?
Right.
That was amazing.
Rent the movie was not amazing.
It was amazing.
No, it was not.
No, it wasn't.
Rent was amazing. Rent the show, great.
Yes, and having most of the original cast come back made it amazing. You guys weren't in the theater for it. I was.
Yes, I was. I was in the theater for
original
Rent.
cast. The original cast.
It was hold on.
No, it was 1995. There's no way you were in the theater.
I saw the original Anthony Rapp and Adam Pascal when they came back and reprised the role for Roger, but Mark and Roger, but no.
Not the original cast is all I'm saying. And what I'm saying is it was true to form. It's very nostalgic for me, obviously. So for people that have that experience, it'll be that way. And I think Spamalot could be the same. I've never seen it, so I don't have a connection to it. However, give me Hank Azaria. You know what I mean? Just let's make it real. Who else was in that show?
I don't remember the original cast. I saw it after the original cast left. I also am not a fan of Rent at all. So
wait, as a show?
I'm excusing myself from this.
Yeah, he doesn't like Rent as a show. Yeah, no,
as a concept, as a thing.
Yeah,
Brian.
Yeah, these are the people you can't convert, Josh. There's nothing you can do. Brian. He's in that light. He's in there forever. He's in that lane forever.
A part of me just died.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I'm well aware. It hurts. It hurts, right?
Yeah.
It hurts.
Super crestfallen.
I will say this though: the only thing that a glimmer of hope for this maybe is that the original Eric Idle, the guy who actually who wrote Spamalot, is involved with the adaptation of it to a movie. That's a good sign, but I mean, I don't know.
Give me all the Monty Python.
I would have been fine with this as a live production on TV, like they've been doing.
No, man, those suck. They're terrible.
They don't suck.
They suck.
Don't. Jesus Christ Superstar was great with John Legend. Are you kidding me?
My kids watch. I think they suck.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
Laura likes them. I don't.
Well,
I can't.
there you go. She's got better taste.
Apparently.
I don't know. She married you. I don't know if she really does though.
Do you need me to leave? This feels like a lover's quarrel.
Well, Brian, you can't leave because we're going to talk about the world of comics, how it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, but most of all, how it's affecting you this week, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
Let's start off with a follow-up from last week, and that is Venom. You guys weren't here to talk about it. I need all your thoughts literally right now.
You know, like, at the point in the trailer when he became Venom, that's when I lost interest.
Really?
It looked awful.
I don't think it looked awful.
It looked awful.
Did it look like Spider-Man 3 to you?
No.
It looked
Not asking you, Brian.
like a child did it. It looked awful.
I disagree, but I see where you're coming from. I disagree. I don't think it looked awful. I think it still needs some fine-tuning. What I do think is this. I got a very distinct feeling from the trailer that I'm not going to see a ton of Venom. Still.
Oh, yeah. Right. Absolutely.
I guarantee you this is going to be Tom Hardy for 2.5 hours talking to himself, and then random tendrils will come out of him. And that's it. And that angers me. I am not looking forward to this at all. I'm very upset. I'm going to see it. I have to see it, but I'm not going to be happy about seeing it.
The other thing we had talked about when this was rumored, right, was you had talked about the fact that Venom being an anti-hero when that storyline came up in the comics wasn't very popular, right? People kind of liked it a little better when he was kind of just the villain or when he was just an asshole, right?
Yeah.
And not an anti-villain. And they literally put the words anti-hero in the trailer.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's the angle they're coming on. So I'm curious.
Well, you're not going to watch 2.5 hours of a guy killing people. Nobody's going to watch that.
I don't know. I've watched a lot of movies where that's actually the main person, right? Of just, Liam Neeson walking around killing people. John Wick, walking around killing people.
Yeah, but the guy's dog died, dude.
I get that.
There's no dog dying in Venom.
You don't know that.
Oh my gosh, that would make the movie infinitely better if Venom's dog died and that's why he's coming after them.
Or Venom ate his dog.
I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. And I love Tom Hardy. I really do. Yeah.
This is the thing again where we've talked about this. I don't know if it was ever on the show. Tom Cruise, right? Tom Cruise is always good in movies, but Tom Cruise does bad movies. Tom Hardy has kind of the similar thing going. I usually really enjoy Tom Hardy and everything he does, but sometimes he's in bad movies. This is probably one of those things. And again, we're probably not going to see Spidey at all. So
yeah,
take that for what it is.
Of course not.
I
don't get it. I need Sony to keep their fluffernutter out of my peanut butter and give it to Marvel's chocolate.
Shit the bed, Sony, a whole bunch, and then let Marvel have it back so this way we never give it away.
I don't want to go through that pain.
Well, you're going to have to, just like you do with the Fantastic Four.
I'm done with that. Like, they're not trying to make another Fantastic Four movie.
Let's hope not. All right, then let's talk about things that make us happy, and let's talk about some Deadpool news, because man, oh man, were they having some fun this week. They put out a music video for Celine Dion's new song, and at first you're just like, I'm not watching a Celine Dion music video, and then in walks Deadpool in his wonderful high heels dancing, and then of course at the end mocking Celine Dion for going to 11. So this was hilarious. This was extremely tongue-in-cheek, but it's an actual song that they're going to use in the movie. Like, everything about this was so brilliant and so Deadpool.
I hate Celine Dion with such a passion. I watched it, and all I could think about was, I hate you so much. Even Deadpool can't save this.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Really?
The last 5 seconds was funny. The rest, I'm like, I'm listening to a Celine Dion song, I don't want to listen to a Celine Dion song.
My wife and I were laughing a lot. Josh, what
I
about you?
don't like Celine Dion.
You sent me a link. It had the words Celine Dion in it, so I ignored it.
Aw. That makes me sad.
I wish I kind of wish I ignored
that
it,
is a
Josh.
sum total of my thoughts. Oh, I knew however long that was, I was never getting that time back.
All right, then let's talk about this. The way this article is headlined, I think, is extremely misleading. Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds has some potentially bad news about Deadpool 3. No, there's actually great news about Deadpool as a character. What they're basically saying is there's probably not going to be a straight Deadpool movie anymore, but instead we're going to get X-Force movies. Who isn't down for that? I think Deadpool works better when there's other people and he's bouncing off a team and that he's not necessarily always the focus and that he can kind of come in and do his weird stuff and come in and go as he pleases. So I think this is good news.
I think we get I think more interestingly than that, we get a Cable and Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more likely, and I'm okay with that. Deadpool can't hold too much by himself. He always needs somebody there. Otherwise, he just gets annoying. That's why even in the first Deadpool movie, he's with Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
So you think
and Dopinder.
So what do you tell people though who read that article and were like, "Oh, I really wanted a Deadpool 3." What do you really tell people to assure them this is the right move?
You're still getting a Deadpool 3. It's just going to be called X-Force. Just like Wolverine 1 through 3 was called X-Men 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Right.
Wait. There's an X-Men 3?
There is.
Oh.
It's not good.
I didn't know
but there is one. But really, it's Wolverine 3. It's Wolverine and his buddies. Wolverine saves his buddies.
Wolverine kills one of his buddies.
Wolverine kills one of his buddies. And then the Wolverine and then Logan. That's what you get.
We're not acknowledging Origins and the Bone Claws here.
we don't acknowledge.
We don't speak of the Bone Claws. Literally at the end, Ryan Reynolds doesn't speak. Shh.
It didn't happen. I don't know what.
It was retconned in Days of Futures Past, wasn't it?
Technically, so was X-Men 3.
So we're all good. So there we go. You don't have to know those at all. You're fine.
I mean, Wolverine Origins wasn't retconned in Days of Future Past, but Deadpool kind of retconned it.
Good. I don't care. Fuck that movie. The movie was terrible. Brian,
I still love you, Hugh Jackman.
Everyone, he's actually also still campaigning to have Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine for
I read that.
Movies. I think if anyone's going to make it happen, it's going to be him, and it's going to be a tongue-in-cheek, fourth wall breaking moment when they do. Brian Thornton,
Christopher Josephine Mellon.
Oh, that was just hurtful. I mean, that kind of stung. I felt like a personal attack.
I'm sorry, Josephine Mellon.
Oh, I vomited. We've been talking about an upcoming DC streaming service that doesn't have a name, and we're not sure exactly what shows are coming on besides Titan and a couple other things. Well, guess what, buddy? We now have a name. It is called DC Universe. Because
Am I supposed to be surprised by that?
They tried really hard on that name. No, you're not supposed to, because they didn't try.
Try.
They didn't even try. We still don't have any kind of release date in the sense of when the service is going to go live. We don't have a full lineup of shows, but we do know that we've got Swamp Thing, Titans. We got a Harley Quinn series in there. What else is in there?
Are you not going to mention Young Justice Season 3?
Young Justice Season 3.
That is the reason I'm buying this subscription. Justice Season 3 and Titans. That is it. If they want to throw it, I'll check out Swamp Thing. Whatever. Screw it. But those are the two things I want.
So here's the question I have with it. With all the streaming services that come into our lives, and you're extremely excited about having at least 2 shows on this network and not the rest of it.
Are you asking me how much I'm willing to pay?
What's the price?
I don't care.
You're just...
Have you seen Young Justice?
No, I haven't.
I will pay through the nose to see a 3rd season of that show.
Like you would sneeze.
I legitimately will snort and then sneeze dollar bills for that show. I need to know what happens. It ended on a cliffhanger. I need to know.
Josh, knowing our relationship with DC, hearing the name, hearing what's going to be on it, thoughts and feelings.
Brian, can I use your password?
I don't know. I might have forgotten it by the time it comes out.
That's why you need a password manager.
Can I just leech that off you? Is that cool?
You know what? I'm right on board for that. As soon as you get it, can you send the password over here?
I hope it allows multi-screen viewing. But yes.
Who knows?
Well, no, obviously you get dibs. You
Right.
Kick either
if
one
I see that you have too many, devices streaming right now, I'm like, all right, I gotta get off. But it's kind of like HBO Go, how no one really owns an HBO Go subscription. You just kind of borrow it from someone else who borrowed it from someone else.
I have an HBO Now subscription. That's mine.
I don't.
Well, I'm
HBO
not
Go or
by
HBO
that.
Now?
Now because I won't you get Go when you subscribe, and I don't subscribe.
And I don't subscribe to subscribing.
No, I'm fully aware. You subscribe to leeching passwords.
I don't subscribe to your subscription of subscribing.
All right, last and final bit of Cape Talk. Is there a possibility that the Spawn reboot that we have heard so much about has officially found its star?
Brian, didn't we say Jamie Foxx? Like, didn't we say it out loud?
Maybe not in recorded format, but probably.
God, I felt like
I thought you guys did.
I felt
really
like
did.
we were on mic and we both said Jamie Foxx.
We might have. I would have to go back and listen to the episode.
I don't know why anybody would be shocked by this. It seems perfect to me.
Yeah, seems great.
Especially given what Jamie Foxx has done recently, right? Obviously Django, but then Baby Driver.
Mm-hmm. And now he's going to be in Robin Hood.
Like, who wouldn't figure this guy to be an action star, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So might as well.
No, I think
This isn't really going to be an action movie, though. It's going to be a horror, more horror.
Well, yeah, but it's still Spawn. So there's got to be...
Shit's still going to have to blow up. A cape is going to have to be a weapon at some point.
What I'm saying is it's not going to be like a dramatic type role.
Sure.
Right.
But he can do that, too.
No, I'm fully aware that he can do that. What I'm saying is he
can do comedy as well. I don't know the guys can do it all. He's a man of many talents.
He started as a comedian. What are we doing here?
I'm really confused. Can I just start naming genres that Jamie Foxx can do?
What's happening, Brian?
Jamie Foxx can be romantic as well. I think all of this is good.
Oh no! You know what? Maybe Brian works for Jamie Foxx. Maybe that's the problem.
Hire Jamie Foxx for all the things.
Do you work for Jamie Foxx? Are you like a promoter or some sort of an agent?
Very possible. I wish.
Oh my God.
You basically you signed him up for Schindler's Fist and Schindler's Pissed is what you just did. Yeah, you got Jamie Foxx doing Space Ask to really stretch his comedic whatevers. Jesus, Brian.
Have you seen the man's headshot? He's great.
Which
he's got many talents.
For his dramatic roles, for his comedic roles, for his puppet theory.
He's also able to play the piano.
Tell me about how reasonable his rider is.
He really does not demand a lot. He just wants all the green M&Ms. That's it. He doesn't need any other M&Ms. So I need you to buy 6 pounds of M&Ms and then pick out the green ones. And he really just would like them in a diamond encrusted crystal bowl. And he needs them waiting on the bed when he arrives to the hotel room. He's not that hard to deal with. He's a wonderful human being. Jamie Foxx made me say that.
Are we done with the Spawn? Like, did we end Spawn in an area that I can go, oh, that was great, everybody? Like, do I have that?
In a way that there's really very
Mr. Fox would like the Spawn segment to go on for at least 10 more seconds. He's very reasonable, I swear to God.
The reasonable Mr. Fox? Is that what it is? All right. So I think this is exciting news. I think you're absolutely right that no one's going to be like, oh, I can't believe we got Jamie Foxx. No, it's going to be great. Plus, Todd McFarlane's got a lot of sway and say within this movie. So
I do need to make it known that nothing has been official. Mr. Fox has not signed off on anything just yet. We don't know what the future holds for Mr. Fox.
So I'm trying to end this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if for some strange reason you still haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, now is the time to leave. Thank you for making us your walk around your neighborhood and your drive to the movie theater. You should go see this movie now. I want to thank you and come back when this is when you've seen it. Just come back to here and enjoy talking about Infinity War. So you have now been warned. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. We're going to talk about Avengers Infinity War. I do want to start with one thing real quick. The first thing I want to start off, there is a website, didthanoskill.me, which you plug that into your web browser, and it will tell you if you were spared or slain when Thanos was given all the Infinity Stones and wiped out half the population. So I'm very curious to see where you guys landed. And I'd like to know if you are with me in this world because I was spared, or if I have to mourn your death.
The answer is yes. I was slain for the good of the universe, praise Thanos, in Safari, but spared in Chrome. So, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I was spared across all mobile platforms, every web browser, even at work.
I'm talking about just from my phone.
Right.
Safari,
spared
slain,
you. Oh, slain.
Google, spared.
So which one was first, though? Because I count the first as what happened to you.
I don't give a shit what you count.
What happened to you?
I mean, you'll never know.
Where's Burns? Where's Burns? Brian, were you spared or slain?
I in fact was spared.
Hey!
I am a loyal follower of Thanos.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know if I'd go that far. You just happen to get spared. I don't
Tomato,
think
tomato.
Tony Stark, who was spared, was like, yeah, I'm loyal to Thanos now that I was spared. No.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, maybe I was buddies with him.
I was spared. Jenny was not. So let's start with some, if you can, let's start with some first impressions. And I want to start with Josh because you sent us a very bold text after the movie. So I'm curious to hear first impressions about this film.
False. He called me first, which is even better.
That's true. And I said the same thing both times. It might be the best movie I've ever seen. That is not me saying this is the best movie I've ever seen, nor am I saying it ranks among my favorites all time. What I'm saying is I don't think there's ever been a more perfect movie theater experience made on film. So Avatar fans,
Suck it.
Yeah, pretty much suck it. There's never been a better movie theater. There were both times I saw it, there were 4 spontaneous outbursts of applaud. Like you were sitting in a theater, like a real one, not like a movie screen. Spontaneous outbursts, overtaking the crowd. There was hysterical crying.
That was me from 2 hours away.
Those are my impressions. It was maybe the best movie I've ever seen.
For me, it was definitely the culmination of 10 years, and honestly, more than that, of seeing nerd acceptance throughout the huge range of pulp culture. Because there were people there who were new to it, who had just binged a whole bunch of movies, people who had just gotten into it, and people that have been there from the beginning and even beyond my experience. The thing I'll say, too, is that I'll go on Josh's spontaneous applauding factor is Jenny hates it. My wife hates it when people applaud or clap in the movies, even after movies ended. And my wife did it 4 different times. She started applauding during the middle of the movie, and so much drama and tension going on that her Apple Watch gave her a notice about your heart rate's been elevated 3 different times throughout the movie. One of them was with Chris Hemsworth, so I'm letting that.
Oh yeah, he's dreaming.
I'm letting that one slide. But no, it was absolutely incredible, and it was everything it was supposed to be. And I am so glad I stayed away from every trailer for this movie. I got a amazing experience.
Words cannot describe how I felt leaving this theater. Only heavy, ugly crying and contentment. I was so happy. I was so happy that I'm pretty sure my girlfriend is worried about my love affair with this movie. To the fact that like the next day she's like, "Did you see it again already?" I'm like, "No, do you want to go?" She was like,
right now.
Like right now. Like she's like, "You're at work." I'm like, "I don't care. Right now. Let's go." This is everything that I wanted it to be, and I went into there thinking I knew things.
Nobody knew a fucking thing.
I thought I knew stuff. I thought I knew how this was going to play out, and I didn't know shit. And that's what was really exciting about it, is that I was completely surprised, completely just blown away because I was like, I didn't think that would happen, but that's amazing. It's a there's
You don't
a
have to
reason
say
these people
that.
have
You
this
can say
job.
what it is.
Anything, any of it, all of it.
All of it.
All of it. I thought I knew how this story was going to go, and it didn't go exactly the way I thought it would. Forget about the ending, like everything, like all the little pieces, how these characters interacted and how they met with each other and how they like interacted with each other. I thought for sure I would know how it would eventually all land into one place, and it didn't go that way, but I liked it better the way they did it, and I was so happy with it. And they did not waste any freaking time making me cry when they started killing off people within the first 7 minutes. And it was so good. So good.
So there's some burning questions, obviously, about it, but one that I'm very curious to kind of get to the bottom with you guys is Loki. Have we actually witnessed the death of Loki, or is this guy again gonna somehow be the god of mischief and get around this?
I think he's dead.
I think anyone killed in pursuit of the stones
Is dead.
Does that include Gamora? That's the next part. Okay.
Anyone killed in pursuit of the stones.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Go for it.
Are we at the theory
Let's
portion
go for
yet?
some theories.
Because you brought up Gamora.
Right.
Here is my theory. I am theorizing here that
You're being theoretical?
I'm being purely theoretical.
Theoretically speaking.
Mr. Foxx has explained to me that there is this theory. In my experience in the comic book, every story that I've read with Thanos, including the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Thanos is always the author of his own destruction. He's always the guy who is always getting in his way to the point where it leads to his ultimate demise or the ending of whatever he was trying to do. I truly think that he is horrified and heartbroken by the fact that he had to kill Gamora. And I think he's going to try to bring her back. And that is ultimately what's going to reverse some of the things that happen and will lead to him being defeated. That's my theory. I have many theories about this movie, but I think
that's
that's one of them.
That's how things get undone. Okay.
The guess, again, I went into this movie thinking I knew things, and I don't know anything, so they're probably not going to do it. But I think that might play a bigger role in the next movie.
We got a message from Brian Roman on our Patreon that says Infinity War was good. The gripes people have with the movie are easily explained away by Doctor Strange knowing what needs to happen to make the one victory condition out of 14 come true. Why didn't he use his portals to cut off Thanos? Probably resulting in pissing Thanos off and him murdering everyone there, then finding his severed hand and picking up from where he left off. Except Tony's gone, and when he was crucial for the victory condition. Well, why didn't Strange just give Thanos the time stone right out of the gate? The lack of the struggle would have left everyone there disheartened and untrusting of Strange. Okay, well, why doesn't Thanos have this obsession with... Why does he have this obsession with culling half the populations? Doesn't he know he could just increase the resources so they're not so finite? Because he's the mad fucking titan, that's why. So, yeah, I like the movie a lot. It did pretty much everything I wanted it to do. It sets up the next movie well in addition to not leaving me feeling like this was an empty movie experience. Everything was paced well. It felt like I was watching a comic come to life. So I'm going to stop. End scene, Brian Roman. And I want to say two things. First, I hope I did a good enough job reading this in your voice. First and foremost, having hung out and understanding how passionate you are, I hope I did it justice. And if not, fucking leave a voicemail, dude.
But I think everything you said is valid, right? Because people have been coming at Strange going, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Just let it happen.
Yeah. I think... okay. Clearly, Strange knows information that none of us know. And yes, I think he needed to give the time stone away, and Thanos needs to cull half the population in order for them to ultimately win. I definitely agree with that. The whole, because I heard this earlier today, the whole, well, why don't we just cut off Thanos' hands? Here's my thing, and upon seeing it a second time, here's what I've kind of come out with it. It could be completely wrong, but here's what I've kind of drawn from it. This movie as a whole is about limitations and how far are you willing to go to obtain something that you want or stop something that you want. And the fact of the matter is, we've known all of these heroes to have very strict limitations. They're not going to kill anybody unless they absolutely have to. There's always a better way. There's always something that they could do without having to pull the trigger. I mean, how many times does Thor need to spare Loki until we figure that out? Like, if Thor would have killed Loki in Thor 1, none of this would have been happening. But he didn't. And this is all about limitations and pride. All the heroes, they don't want to cross that line. That's why we didn't kill Vision halfway through the movie. Why didn't we just destroy the Mind Stone right away? Well, because they think they're better than that, and that's where the pride issue comes in. Thanos doesn't have any of that. Thanos doesn't have any qualms about doing what he needs to do to fulfill his mission, whereas the heroes in this story do. They have a very big problem with crossing that line unless it's absolutely necessary. And that's kind of what how I view it, is that all that time, they're not trying to kill Thanos. They're trying to stop him just by removing the gauntlet.
Right.
And the only person who is willing to kill Thanos, only people who are willing to kill Thanos are people who have actually seen what he's capable of. Gamora and Thor. Nebula.
Yeah.
Who are not in a position to be able to do it. Obviously, Gamora dies relatively quickly but that's the other thing, is like, why didn't Gamora just let Nebula die? Because her limitation is her sister. Her love for her sister, she will not let that happen. She just reconnected with her sister a couple years ago. So, and Thor, the entire time, throughout most of the movie, is trying to get the weapon to kill Thanos. So he arrives a little bit too late to that party to make any real lasting impression. Because, I mean, if Thor showed back up with Stormbreaker 10 minutes after he killed half of Asgard, then it would have been over. That's kind of what I got from this, is that because the original plan is let's hide the time stone. Let's get rid of the Mind Stone. Let's get it out of Vision so that we can hide it or destroy it. Like, we don't have to kill anybody to stop this from happening.
Right.
That's their own hubris and their own selves getting in their way, and Thanos won because of it. And because Thanos doesn't have any of that. That's kind of my feeling on it. But yes, Brian Roman, I love the movie too. Well done, sir.
Here's the other part too. I really thought it was interesting that this story was mainly told through Thanos and not
he's the main character,
right? And not through our heroes. And the fact that even though he's sick and sadistic and he wants to kill half the world's population, the universe's population, there's at least part of you that's like, oh, I kind of understand where this guy is. Like, I understand this. Like, this isn't just a complete. Like, there's something there that you kind of like, oh, I can empathize with this.
He had a legitimate catalyst.
Thank you.
Right? And that's what makes the story so ridiculous, is that you're going, so your world died, you didn't eliminate it. I don't know how I feel about 50-50. Want to die, do what you have to do.
Right.
Like,
you're not. You're just like, I hope they stop you, but at the same time, like,
his pursuit is justified.
And it's even punctuated. It's even punctuated when he tells Gamora about the fact that your planet is a paradise now because of what I did.
Right.
Imagine if I could do that for the entire universe.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, I understand morally this is terrible and reprehensible, but I understand why you're doing what you're doing. Your motivation is actually clear, and
Brian
you're a good
Roman
villain.
said that. He said he's the Mad Titan, and he is. It is a batshit crazy idea. Kill half the people so that the other half may live in opulence, right? I mean, that's insanity. Now, he went about it at random, right? Yeah. Everybody was eligible, didn't matter, right? There's no 1% there. So, right. I mean, it's fair. It's just not nice, and nobody wants to ever think about it. So, I mean, the movie was just so good, and I think certainly Brian Roman, and then obviously Brian Thornton, just in a different. And CJ, I hope you heard what I did there with the two different. But certainly they have gone beyond. Like, I'm not at the theorizing stage yet. I'm still experiencing it.
Right.
I'm still soaking it in. I didn't form any opinions or theories of how the story would go going into it. Even though I had seen the trailers, I said, you know what? I'm not going to want to know. And I just want to experience it. And this was, man, it was really one of the best told stories that I've ever seen on film. So, Brian, I can't say whether I agree or disagree. And also, Brian, I can't say whether I agree or disagree.
They sound the same to me, just so you know.
But it's for sure, this is going to give people fits for a year.
Obviously the meme has taken over the internet, but the Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good moment. And watching Peter dissolve, I'm crying. I would sit in the theater and like,
I cried,
and
I
not
cried
even
real man tears,
and literally not even the I'm not crying, you're crying, or they're sweating through my eyes. Like, yeah, I'm crying. I'm very sad, Peter Parker. God damn you, Peter Parker. Yeah, just it's.
I read that was ad libbed.
I did. I heard that was ad libbed as well.
It didn't get me until he fucking apologized.
Yeah.
Then I lost it.
Yep.
He's apologizing for dying.
Here's the thing that I didn't even think about until after I left the theater. Peter is essentially Tony's adopted son.
Yep.
Right.
We spent an entire Spider-Man Homecoming movie setting that up. And he even says in the movie, if you die, that's on me. Which is why he keeps on trying to get him to stay home. Yep. And then he dies.
Tony's broken. And
Tony is going to be a mess.
So that was my only... I wasn't... Look, I like Tom Holland. He's good. Right, but I was more emotional about
Tony's
the loss
point of
that
view.
Tony was feeling.
Right, yes.
And punctuated by Peter apologizing to Tony for dying, saying he knows he's going to take it that way. It's on him. He's apologizing for the way Tony feels about him dying. Nope.
I'm going to cry again just talking about it.
It's hard. Here's the other thing I'll say. Just like we talked about how Thanos was the main character of this movie, even though we got smaller sections of time with our heroes, I feel everyone was represented well. I think I loved this scene with Black Widow. Oh god, who else was in the pit? I can't remember right now.
Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and Nokia.
Yes, when they were down in the pit and they were fighting, I was like, yes. Like this is I
was
will
one
watch
of the
that
spontaneous outbursts of applause. What is happening with my mouth? But that was one of those really emotionally and energetically charged moments in the theater. So good.
I was like, I will watch that movie. Give me that movie right now. There's honestly a lot to talk about, and I'm with Josh. I'm still processing it. I'm going to go see.
Are you wrapping up? Are we done talking about this already?
No, I'm asking, what do you want to talk about? What do we need to what do we need to cover that we haven't talked about?
For me, the best part of this movie was the comedic interactions between characters who hadn't met yet. The small things. I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers. Here's the thing, because this movie was so heavy from the first 5-7 minutes, like Brian said. It was so heavy that, seeing that Drax had learned to move so slow that he was imperceptible to the eye. Like, things like that, right? Or the I am Groot, where he clearly told everybody to fuck off.
Right.
And, they reacted to that. Those pieces, and it wasn't just slapstick Guardian stuff. It was every single character had their own lighthearted moment. I think even Vision had one, but and you wouldn't expect that. But in this whole thing that was so heavy and so hard to take, they did an amazing job of making all of us laugh. Mm-hmm. That was the best part for me.
For me, it was the action that really stood out, because it felt like it's kind of like almost when you watch Game of Thrones at one point. You don't know who's going to get hurt, what the team ups are going to be, what's going to happen, and could someone possibly die. We saw a couple main characters die right in the beginning of the movie. So the stakes were high enough that every action scene wasn't just people moving their arms and having some weird shit happen, but also just really having some great stakes and some great team ups. The big battle scene in Wakanda. By the way, those little creatures. That's what Venom should look like, in my opinion. Just, less appendages. It really kind of raised the stakes, and it felt like at any moment everyone could die. And that happened at the end, but it felt like at any moment it could just happen on the battlefield.
My favorite part of the movie is the 2.5 hours and 45 minutes that the movie lasted. From the moment I sat down, from the moment I left the theater. Here's the really cool thing that I think this movie was able to accomplish, besides Red Skull showing up out of nowhere, which I lost my breath.
That was a good reveal.
And then changed my pants and then continued to go, like, it was awesome. We know, being fans of this type of genre, that death is not permanent, death is reversible, and everybody who was snapped away will probably come back. Or it'll come at a cost, but they'll come back. But the really cool thing that this did was, like, even though I knew that, I was still upset by all of it. Like, you still felt it. You felt the loss. And that's something that's really hard to accomplish. And it's just like, from the moment, and the way they did it was so good. And
the way they did
smart.
Black Panthers, I was like, whoa!
Not even just the people. It's just like that from the moment people started disappearing. First off, that brief moment of, oh my God, they won, when you realize that Thor now has his axe in the middle of Thanos, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this could end up perfectly well. And then he says, you should have aimed for the head, and then snaps. I was like, oh my God, he really did it. And then, like, from that moment on, there's no music. It's just, you're just watching and having to deal with all of these people that you've known for 10 years for the most part start disappearing and
fading away.
And
right.
it just, each one hurt a little bit more, like
eating away at me.
Yeah, and it was so good. And then, like, after all that happens, you see your main character, Thanos, just smiling because he's done what he was supposed to do. And you don't know how to feel,
right? Because
you don't know whether to be happy that Thanos accomplished his mission or really upset that all of your favorite characters are in this state right now.
So like, that's all right. That's everybody's best part. And obviously Brian's best part was the entire movie. So
yeah.
I'm not going to, so when I'll say the worst part for me, and it has nothing to do with the movie. There was nothing bad about this. So I'm not saying this is a poor decision, right? The thing that hit me the hardest as being bad, leaving the theater, based on the only theory I have, which is people that die in pursuit of the stones are dead. They're gone. I cannot imagine right now. The worst part for me is how Quill must feel.
Yeah.
And when, if my theory's right, when she doesn't come back, when everybody else does, oh my God, I can already feel the tears welling up watching that happen. If my theory's right, which I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying, if he never sees her again, when that realization hits him, that's the worst part of this movie for me.
No, absolutely.
I'm gonna add to that. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So I don't think necessarily everybody who faded away is dead. I think they're in the Soul Stone. And I think the first person who went into the Soul Stone was Gamora, because that was the soul that he had to sacrifice.
Oh.
So Quill's in the Soul Stone with Gamora. So he's going to be with her. And then they're going to bring everybody back, and he's going to be torn away from her, and he's going to have to deal with that.
No, that can't happen either. No, I'm not. I'm not okay.
That's what's going to happen,
because you're going to have
I agree.
a whole scene of Quill saying, "Why did you bring me back?"
I'm not even sure, guys, why I'm so emotionally attached to Star-Lord, other than he's Andy Dwyer. Like, I'm honestly, like, I just want him to be happy.
Well, he also had that moment, with Thanos and the internet got mad at him.
Obviously, he's totally worthy. That's not what I'm saying. Right. What I'm saying is, I honestly think Chris Pratt plays this part so well that I can't not identify with it.
There was a tweet that said in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Peter Quill dealt with mommy issues. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he dealt with daddy issues, and in Infinity War, he dealt with in-law issues.
Oh, that's just it's true, but it's wrong.
Right. I agree. I mean, listen, we could talk about this movie forever and everything that we're saying. I'm sure you've had conversations with people already. Is there anything else that we kind of need to talk about for this movie that we haven't covered?
No, I've already pre-ordered it on iTunes. I intend to see it in the theater one more time,
and in between,
which will be more than. No, it won't. Kill Bill. I saw that 4 times.
Here's my question, and I'm turning to the two of you. The movies that we have left on the slate before we get the next chapter of Infinity War. Let's face it, this really was part 1. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Those two. And for those of you who don't know, Captain Marvel was the teaser at the end. That was her symbol that was on Nick Fury's pager?
It's an intergalactic beeper.
Intergalactic beeper? Because, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone needs to realize this was a bar setting.
Oh, hell yes.
And a total statement. I don't see anything Marvel being from this point forward. Like
even Ant-Man and the Wasp?
It will be a film. And people will see it. And I'm hoping that it's entertaining, like the last one was, and fun. I'm hoping that based on everything that's happened, even though Ant-Man and the Wasp will happen before in the timeline Infinity Wars happened, I'm hoping they ratchet up a notch on quality.
I think they will. I think Kevin Feige is not done. He just cleared it. He just closed book 1, and it's now time to write book 2. So listen, we want to have conversations with you about the movie on social media. So hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, search @That Kind of Nerd. We're also on Instagram @That Kind of Nerd Podcast. You can also email us at nerds@thatkindofnerd.com. We'd absolutely love to have a discussion with this movie for you. But I want to talk about one thing that happened to me when I was sitting in the theater, which was letting these two guys know, hey, I'm in the theater. Just heads up, I'm gonna be quiet for a while. And Josh was like, what theater? I was like, oh, the local theater by us. Yeah, which one? I'm in the IMAX. Yeah, what seat? I'm in the middle. I'm here. And he stands up. I just see him just down in the front of the theater, kind of looking around. And then we make eye contact. And then as we do, we make a scene. So he's like, yo, CJ, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, man, I'm very excited. And we're shouting across the IMAX. And there's like the guy in front of us is just like, yeah, hey, man, nice to see you too. And I'm like, hey, don't you be talking to him right now. I'm talking to him. And then I go down and I see Clan Burns and like, hey, how are you? I talk to them. They inform me this is the second viewing for them, and I'll be going through it for the first time. So it's just nice to know that when I was emotional at that time, that there was probably a crying Josh Burns, less than 50 feet away from me.
So what was happening on my end was Laura and Zoe were actually 2 rows behind Christian and I. So when this text is happening, I like ignoring that there's a row of people behind me. I'm like, babe, hey, babe. CJ's here. These 2 chicks behind me, they're like, CJ's here? I'm like, oh, you know CJ? And they're like, these 2 chicks, just randos, right? They're like, what? No, you were saying you know CJ. I'm like, I do know CJ, and you're about to, I guarantee it. I stand up, and I go, there he is, and there's this back and forth, right? The whole got Brian. This theater's packed and silent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all transpiring. He comes over, sits, and then these girls are like, so this is CJ? I'm like, this is CJ. You should meet him.
Right. And then I took a moment to say, have you heard the good word of Movie Pass? Can I talk to you about movie? Do you have a moment for our savior Movie Pass? And I probably sold 2 Movie Pass subscriptions. But it was just nice to know that you were there in the theater. And then I went back to my wife and was like, I realized I just left you and didn't tell you that I was going to go down there. Sorry. Do you need me to go get a refill of Coke? I need to get a refill of Coke. Okay. I'll be right back. All right. Gotcha. So it was good times. So let's talk about.
I'm sorry I missed it. I wish I was in that theater.
It would have been.
Oh, that'd have been some shit.
Would have been.
You should have been in the other corner, and then
Right.
like, hey,
Oh man, that'd have been some shit.
we probably would have gotten kicked out, but then like smooth talked our way back into it. You know.
The thing is that if Brian had been in that theater, it would have been with Melissa and Paul, and it would have been a very awkward, loving hug between Paul and I in front of the entire theater. That would have been very.
Would have ended in applause. They're like, oh my gosh, they found each other.
It's guy love between two guys. I want to thank you guys so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show. I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree. Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd, and Apple versus Android is a case to be heard, and that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, 'cause you are that kind of nerd.
I am CJ Mellon, joined as always by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
Hola. For our Spanish-speaking listeners.
Because it was Cinco de Mayo, right? Really? Okay.
No, it's not Cinco de Mayo though.
But it was.
Well,
In
I
honor
mean,
of-
we're recording on Star Wars Day.
It is May the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you know what? It was so weird. I'm at a new job, and I am the most nerdy person in my position. And
Why is that weird?
Because nobody made any Star Wars puns the entire day. I went through an entire day with talking to groups of people, and nobody said, "May the 4th be with you." None of that.
That's just sad.
Yeah.
So I didn't bring it up. I wasn't going to be that guy. So
You're always that guy, though.
I know, but I'm trying to not be. Like, I'm going to be 30. Like I need to straighten up some parts of my life and just put some kind of filter in there.
I don't think that needs to be the one though. Like that happened to me today. I went to lunch at the Shelby, and like I'm in installation there at the bar. Like if I'm home on a Monday or a Friday, that's where I'm at, right? So I'm talking to like a couple of servers and the bartender, and I'm realizing how old I am because none of these people have any idea. And like they're like, "Oh, hey, we're all going to Chili's for Cinco de Mayo." I'm like, A, no, I'm never gonna go to Chili's with you guys, and B,
But dollar Coronas.
B, why are you going to Chili's on Star Wars Day? And they were all like, what do you mean? Like, it's Star Wars. Like, May the 4th be with you? They were like, what? And like only the bartender got it. Nobody.
And this is the thing. This is a new phenomenon. This is new. This isn't something that's been around for years. This is recent.
Is it?
It is. We just started. I'm sure Hallmark got involved in some way, shape, or form.
You're saying Hallmark created Star Wars Day?
No, I'm not. But what I'm saying is,
An elaborate ploy to sell greeting cards.
Oh,
Because
CJ,
you know
you're
those
right.
Star Wars Day
Apparently,
greeting
well,
cards.
it's only been observed since 2011, but the reference was first used May 4th, 1979.
right. But 2011 is when it actually kind of like
Became Star Wars Day.
It became the thing that it is today.
So here it is. The first time it was said was regarding Margaret Thatcher, which has nothing to do with Star Wars. But apparently, astrophysicist and author Jean Cavellos used the saying in her book in 1999. So there you go.
The more you know.
It's amazing what a Google search will do.
No kidding. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Now, what you don't know is that someone just edited that article, and now it's no longer valid. That data is not available to anybody else anymore.